Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you for joining me. This commentary is very disturbing. The deeds exacted against a Yasmin Williams, 31, New York City. She's living with a black male by the name of Chad Irish, 55. Don't know why she was living with him. Allegedly, she has attended a university. Supposed to be starting a new job the following Monday. Allegedly, she told her grandmother a week before her murder that she was going to be moving back home. So why was she living with this man? How did they meet? Was she dating him? Many might look at her and look at him and think they're not compatible. It's a very odd story. Don't know all the circumstances. But right now, this Mr. Irish is facing second-degree murder of Miss Yasmin. New charges, 2 counts of criminal possessions of a weapon, 2 counts of menacing for brandishing a gun and threatening neighbors in the community. Allegedly, he had an argument with her a few days before her murder inside of a hallway. It's caught on surveillance camera. He told her he would shoot her. So one would have to say, why would she go back into an apartment, sleep in an apartment with a man who was threatened to unalive her with a gun? Why did she go back into the apartment? How long had she been living with him? Once again, were they dating, or this was just a place to sleep? Why did she leave her grandmother's house to go live with this man? See, there's a lot of questions, and many people are going to question why she was in this home with him. What was the relationship of the two? I've not heard that she has any children. He has, as I said, an extensive background, 6 felonies, 5 which were violent offenses, 11 misdemeanor convictions. Who is Chad Irish, 55 years of age, New York City, Kips Bay? Both of them were living in this apartment building. I'm assuming his name is on the lease. If not, whose name is on the lease? How long was she living in the apartment? How long has she known him? How did they come to know one another, and how did she come to live in this apartment with him? He obviously is a bully. He likes pulling guns on people. Once again, he has an extensive record. 11 misdemeanors, 6 felonies, 5 which are violent. Here is what transpired in New York City last week. Thank you for joining me.
nobody. How you get crack in the language? Don't get on crack. That's why. Wait, they wasn't not coming this way. Where you going, Nika? He's so disgusting. He looks like what would you say to me?
Y'all give us some head, y'all. Give us some head, y'all. Alright, give us some head, y'all. Respectfully. Give us some head, y'all.
No, I don't got nothing to do
Give
with
us
it.
some
Okay, bro. She's gonna get justice. This is a guy that I think that was her friend.
What's the right thing to happen to her?
He needed to life. You don't have the death penalty in New York. He took my daughter's life away. At the time, 31 years old. She didn't deserve that. I put her in the garbage bin.
Fingers crossed out here that you get.
Justice for Yazzie. Justice for Yazzie.
Nicole?
Yes.
Tell me what was like for us.
Oh, how was she? Oh my God, vibrant, bubbly, silly, vibrant. Yasmin was never angry. Oh, she had a bubbly spirit. She was always smiling. She was always happy. She's intelligent. She's a college grad. She worked for the city of New York. She loved her sister. She was a good big sister. She was a good daughter. She was my best friend. She was my best friend.
When was the last time you spoke to her?
Check this out.
Wow. Thank you for joining me. This is a very baffling story. Sorry about the commercial, everybody. This is a very baffling story. Because what you have to ask yourself, how in the world did it come to this? How in the world did it come to this? How did Yasmin come into the company of Chad Irish, a man with an extensive criminal record, background? And now he has new charges of menacing the public, 2 counts, second-degree murder of Yasmin Williams, concealment of a body. What I'm questioning is how in the world did he get her down to the street? Here's a man allegedly that cannot walk. Can he walk or he cannot walk? So you take her down by your wheelchair and a dolly. I want you all to imagine that. Imagine whatever happened in the apartment, gruesome as it is. Him trying to get this woman wrapped up in a sleeping bag. I can't imagine it because if he can't walk, I'm trying to put it together. How are you getting someone into a sleeping bag? We also get information that someone has brought him tools, paraphernalia to wrap her up. Allegedly, some woman knocked at the door and handed him some type of cleaning products and plastic bags. So who is this woman? And will she also be charged with aiding after the fact, or will we find out she had no idea? He just said, hey, bring me some items because he's handicapped. I'm sure that's what's going to be said. Why was she staying with Chad Irish, Miss Yasmin? Once again, I ask all the questions. How did she know him? How did she come to know him? What made her stay there? Allegedly, she's graduated from school. She's starting a new job for the city of New York. What was that job title? Why was she with this man? You hear the mother here saying, in the white dress and the hat, that he looks like scum. She also wanted him to be unalived, which, that's her right. That's her child. You also hear her stating that there's no death penalty in the state of New York, which she feels he deserves, rightfully so. I do agree. He does deserve a death penalty. You saw the swarm of people trying to get him, hit on him, punch him. I was thinking, hell, turn that damn gurney over. Turn it over, because he deserved to be turned over. Let's see if he can get up and walk, because I'm trying to figure out how he got that woman in a sleeping bag. So are we going to find out that he can walk and he's just playing the role of a handicapped person? Because you see this all the time. I can honestly say I saw someone here recently, neighbor, 1 minute walking fine, the next minute she's in one of those little push cart wheelchair things you can scoot around in, one of the miniature kind. And then the next minute I see her pushing it with a dog. And I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? Like, you're handicapped, you're not handicapped. What's really going on? See, you don't know. Because somebody might say, well, why do you have this miniature handicap wheelchair? If you just had surgery, don't you need it? So once a person sees you sitting in it one day, then the next day they see you pushing it, they're going to be curious. So now we're just using it for what? A dog stroller. Just saying. But back to New York City. Yasmeen Williams, 31 years of age, African-American female, discarded like trash on a public New York City street in Kips Bay. This man unalived her, threatened to shoot her, caught on camera in the hallway of this apartment building where he resided, she and he. So, as I said before, why did she go back into this apartment building with him to stay? Why did she go back into the apartment? What happened in the apartment that led up? We also hear that they were arguing in that hallway. What were they arguing about? Number one. Two, why did she go back in that apartment after he has threatened to shoot her? What else are we going to learn about Mr. Chad Irish? Is he a father? Does he have children? Has he ever been married? We hear that he has 6 felonies. 5 of them are violent. 11 misdemeanor convictions. What were the 5 violent felonies pertaining to? Assault? Any other type of attempted murder charges? Weapons? Guns? Knives? What are we going to hear? What are the other 11 misdemeanor convictions? We see that he's a bully in a wheelchair. He doesn't mind brandishing a gun. So what we're going to ask, was he ever brandishing a gun when he was walking? Or has he been handicapped all of his life? Most of his life, childhood? What are we saying? The big question I have is, how did she come to know him? How did she end up living in his apartment? The mother here in his commentary says that they were friends. What type of friends? Just they knew of each other. He was nice enough to let her stay in his apartment, but she didn't know him. She didn't know that he is a violent person. Sick person. Did she know he had an extensive criminal record? Lots of questions. How did Yasmeen come into the company of Chad Irish? What was she doing living in his house? And as I said, when you look at photographs of her versus him, you're going to ask yourself, she doesn't look like the type of person that would even be in the company of speaking, talking, let alone any type of interpersonal relationship. So let's ask that question. Was Yasmeen in a personal relationship with Mr. Irish? Or she just needed a place to stay. Maybe she was helping him out, doing little things for him around the house until she was able to get her an apartment or a home. I don't know. I also like to know why she wasn't living with the grandmother. Why was she living with her mother? Why did she move out from the grandmother's house? Allegedly, she was going back to the grandmother's house. What was that actual conversation pertaining to why she was leaving? I do believe she probably told her things were not working out with Mr. Irish. And how long was she living with Mr. Irish? Did he ever try to make any advances toward her, if indeed it was not a sexual relationship? Where did she sleep? On a couch, in his bed? It's curious. What was the relationship between Yasmeen and Mr. Irish? I don't know. But I know this is a very diabolical case. And what I found invigorating is that New York, the residents of New York City, stood up for a woman, an African-American woman, on this day to show solidarity, that you cannot just unalive a person and take them out and throw them onto a public street and then roll yourself back into your apartment as if you have done nothing. And Mr. Irish denied unaliving her or harming her. As he said, I ain't hurt nobody. Well, the law says you did, sir. And now you've been charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal possessions of a weapon, 2 counts of menacing to the public. Justice for Yasmeen Williams. Prayers for her mother, her family, the community. This is a sick tale of why you can't get involved with people But naturally, you're going to get involved with somebody because that's human life, human nature. But one thing you need to always understand is that you don't know people. And when you see signs that they are violent, their tongue is violent, disgusting, vile, you need to cut them off, run like hell. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to tell them of your plan to leave or move out or cut off the relationship. If a person shows you they're violent, it's probably best you don't say anything. You make a move quietly and you keep it moving and you don't look back. And if that means you don't tell people where you are, and so they don't tell that person any personal information, then you do what you have to do. I don't see him trying to find her. But the one thing we do know, he is violent, and he has unalived this young lady. He likes threatening people with guns. He threatened her with a gun, and he followed through. Once again, prayers to Yasmin's mother and family, friends. What a tale. I'm also wondering if anyone ever called 911 on that incident of him threatening to shoot her, shoot these other people in the building and people he was threatening. How many times has police come to his apartment? How many times were calls called on him? See, there are lots of questions. Hopefully we'll get some answers here in the next upcoming weeks pertaining to Mr. Irish and his demeanor and his tenancy at this apartment building. Also, how long has he lived there? Has he ever been a problem? Ever threatened with an eviction? Has he ever been evicted from anywhere in New York City or other states? I also learned he has, once again, been in and out of the New York State correctional system for some time. What else are we going to learn about Mr. Chad Irish, 55? We will see. I will bring you an update to this story. I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful weekend. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below. The Queen is venturing towards 16,000 subscribers. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share the information pertaining to this network. If you'd like to donate, Cash App, $Big Angie 129. Thank you so much. Just be aware of your surroundings, ladies. Be aware of the company you keep. Thank you so much.